Recently, there has been a lot of jargon about climate change politics in the US government. Liberals seem to want to push green policies, and conservatives seem skeptical about the whole human involvement in climate change as a whole. The country seems pretty divided on the issue, and you, the smart, capable conservative, might be wondering what the hell is even going on in this country. So, listen. I'm not some crazy leftist who wants to tax you out of existence or infringe upon your God-given rights. I'm a moderate when it comes to politics. I like to think I'm the bridge between the red and blue sides of our great country. And as this bridge, I really do believe that Americans have the moral obligation to address the accelerating impacts of climate change that they have caused in the first place. So I ask you, what even is climate change? Is the claim that human activity increases the rate of climate change really a Chinese hoax or a myth created by socialists? Or is it a real process that is negatively impacting our planet? I'm not any accredited scientist, so I think that it's best that we defer our judgments to the experts. And the evidence that scientists present is pretty strong. According to National Geographic, the global average surface temperature has risen 1.6 degrees Fahrenheit since 1966. This change doesn't seem like much, but without human involvement, it would take hundreds of years for this change to occur under normal conditions. It's only taking a few decades due to our intense pollution and huge carbon footprint. Future projections show a much warmer climate in the next few decades and centuries. This rising average wipes out entire ecosystems. The amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere since the 1700s has almost tripled, from 150 parts per million of carbon dioxide to over 400 parts per million. Additionally, warmer temperatures cause polar ice caps to melt, which raises sea levels at an alarming rate. Your grandkids or great-grandkids might be living in a shrunken America due to flooding and higher sea levels. Sea levels might rise up to half of a meter higher than what they are actually by the year 2100. You might think I'm cherry-picking data, so let's ask the scientific community as a whole. And it seems that there is a large scientific consensus on the matter. In 2010, Ondereg found that 97 to 98% of climate scientists accept the climate change as a real occurrence on this planet. A 2013 Cook review found that only 0.7% of surveyed studies explicitly reject the existence of climate change. I don't know about you, but these climate scientists seem pretty legit. All of those in support of climate change surveyed by Ondereg were viewed as experts in their field. Surely, this evidence of facts and logic is enough to convince you that climate change is a real process. But wait, what about the things that President Trump has been saying? What about your Republican leaders? What about this lawmaker who brought in a snowball to prove that global warming doesn't exist? Well, there's an explanation for that too. You see, there's a difference between weather and climate. When Trump tweets that it's really cold tonight, that's an example of weather. Climate is the overall change in weather over a long period of time. It's the measurement of climate that allows scientists to project future occurrences. It's clear that climate change needs to be addressed for the sake of the food web, ecosystems, and your descendants. And taking economical approaches to help the environment won't be costly to the taxpayer either. It's very possible to have a prosperous economy with an improving environment. And no, I'm not promoting the Green New Deal. I don't think massive government intervention, wide-scale retrofitting, and the abolition of planes is necessary to help the environment. I propose a more moderate approach to helping the environment. Pollution permits, tax incentives, government subsidies, and a carbon tax. Pollution permits will allow firms to distribute their pollution according to the laws of supply and demand. Some firms emit more pollution than others. Putting the price on pollution permit allows wasteful companies to pay for their pollution while allowing environmentally friendly firms to profit off of their sustainability. Tax incentives will be given to firms that implement and invest in green technologies such as wind, solar, and nuclear energy. Government subsidies will be given to those who invest their time in the research of clean technology. Funds can be diverted from other government organizations such as the military, which the government spends billions of dollars on each year at no expense to the taxpayer. A carbon tax can be passed which will not only help the environment, but will reduce traffic on the roads that can even decrease income tax. I think anyone sensible, such as yourself, would agree that climate change is real and quickly developing into something catastrophic. It is only right for us to implement green policies in our country so as to combat the lasting effects of climate change. As a true American, partake in your civic duty and vote for your local pro-environment representatives so we can save the planet by stopping climate change in its tracks.